Hey, 144 kids, welcome to the recap where we review what we did, what you may have missed, and for all of us to learn together. Don't forget to sign up for more. Check out our merch store for one of these cool things and get down on to Bible Pathway Adventures. We have links below, and subscribe to be in the group, to be part of the gang, a sheep in the fold, you get the point. Enjoy, okay? All right, welcome back to our Alphabet series. We're not going to make this long. We're going to get right into it. Today we're talking about two letters, the first one being Mem and the second one being Nun. So let's take a look at them right now. Let's go. All right, so this is Mem. This is Mem. And you can kind of see over here to my left, at the far left, we have the modern Hebrew letter. But the one that we want to focus on is right here, this ancient Hebraic letter. You can see a symbol, kind of looks like a squiggly line, very similar to waves or water. This is the Hebrew letter Mem, and it means water, which could also mean chaos, right? Which is very synonymous with the scriptures in the beginning, right? In Genesis, it says in the beginning, the earth was without form. It was void, and there was the spirit hovered over the face of the deep, over the water. There was chaos in the beginning. But also, water has a ton of symbolism and a lot of importance in scripture. Everything from immersion, which is baptism, to purification, all these different things. So let's take a look a little bit and see what we can learn about this letter, which is Mem, which is super cool. So, like I just mentioned, so this letter, it could mean blood or water, which, I mean, honestly refers to the life source that flows. So this symbol right here is not only a symbol for water, it's also a symbol for blood, which is huge. And can you think of a time in scripture where both of those came together? I'm sure you can. But but before we do that, take a look at this verse that we talked about, right? This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. The earth was without form and void, and the darkness was over the face of the deep. And this was the spirit of Elohim, the Ruach of Elohim, was hovering over the face of the waters, right? So it's kind of synonymous with what we understand about this letter. Water and chaos, that's what existed. But also this letter means life. Take a look at Isaiah 58 verse 11. It says, and Yah will guide you continually, and satisfy your desire in scorched places and make your bones strong, and you shall be like what? A watered garden, like a spring of water whose waters do not fail. And obviously that is the Father, right? He's the living water right here, the living water, which is life. This is I think this is a picture of a spring. I'm not completely sure. I don't know. But also, who can't forget this moment, right? This is a scene from the Prince of Egypt where he turns water into blood. He turns the water in the Nile River into blood. Boom! We see both of those definitions or potential symbolisms for this letter down here come together. Water and blood, right? They both enter and create some type of chaos. And you can see it all from this clip. We'll play it right now.
Ramesses, let my people go!
It's
blood!
Let my people go. That's so good. Now, David, if you're not familiar, in Psalms 119, he wrote some poetry about every single letter in the alphabet. So we're going to read what he has written for Psalms 119. So let's read it together. It says, oh, how I love your law, your Torah. It is my meditation all the day. Your commandment makes me wiser than my enemies, for it is ever with me. Your commandments are always with me. I have more understanding than all of my teachers, for your testimonies are my meditation. He said, I just got to meditate on your testimonies, and I'm already wiser than most people. I understand more, sorry, there's a little typo there. I understand more than the aged, for I keep your precepts. I hold back my feet from every evil way in order to keep your word. I do not turn aside from your rules, for you have taught me. How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through your precepts, I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way. Oh, that's good. Let's take a look right here at some of the main themes that we can pull out from the scripture, right? At the top, verse 97, he says, I love your law and I meditate all day long. Verse 100, he says, I obey your precepts. That's huge. That's important. I obey your commandments. 101, so that I might obey your word. He said, hey, I obey them, and everything that I'm doing is so that I can obey your word. Verse 98, your commands make me wiser than my enemies. That right there is huge. Just following his commands, we're already ahead of the game. He says, I have more insight than all of my teachers. I have more understanding than the elders. I have kept my feet from every evil path. That's huge. I've stayed set apart, right? Kodesh. I've tried to stay holy to the best of my ability. I've removed myself from every potential evil way. And I gain understanding from your precepts, right? That is huge. That's that's the last verse 104. So you can see the highlights here. David is talking about, hey, you know what? And the way we can kind of attribute it to this letter that talks about water or chaos, he's saying, hey, the best way forward, I want that water, that purifying water, that life-giving water. And he says, hey, that comes from your word. I want to stay away from that chaos, right? I want to turn my feet from every evil path. And so it's so cool that this is what David wrote about when he was thinking about this letter Mem, which is kind of cool. Now, this acrostic here helps us remember the word, remember the letter, and it kind of summarizes Psalms 119. So let's read it together. It says, your promises are sweeter than honey to my mouth. And you can see the M-E-M. Your promises are sweeter than honey to my mouth. It's a great way to sum up this passage or this section in Psalms 119, referring to the letter Mem, which is cool. Now, we gotta go over to the next letter, which is Nun. Nun or Nun. I'm not really sure how I pronounce it. I think it's Nun, right? And you can tell this has the image or the symbol of a seed, right? Of a seed. And you can see the modern Hebrew letter for today. If you're reading Hebrew today, this is what it looks like. But you see seed, you see fish, you see life, right? This is all these things that are synonymous with it. A great definition, you can kind of see it down here at the bottom. A perpetual life force or seed, right? And seed is obviously the beginning of life. And if you've never actually seen a seed from start to finish, it's an amazing thing. We'll throw a clip in a second. But when I think of seed, when I think about this letter, I think about Genesis chapter 1:11, back in Genesis, right? And Yah said, let the earth sprout vegetation. Where'd we go? There we go. And Yah said, let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth, and it was so. So in the beginning, this is huge. Seed by itself was huge in the part of creation. And not only that, he's talking about plants that yield seed, because he was like, hey, I can make these plants, but I need these plants to be able to reproduce. A great way to tell if your fruit is, or your vegetables are great and they're healthy and they're organic, do they have seeds? Because that's how he originally created them, which is really cool. That's already here in the scripture. Now, if you've never seen a seed or the life of a seed, you can take a look at this right here, the full life cycle of a seed. So let's watch this together. Take a look at this. This is from G-phase. So you can see the seed, it's under some soil. It's planted, and right now it's slowly growing out roots, right? It's slowly growing out roots, and it's growing. And so you can see just from a small seed, and you can see the ticker at the bottom down here, day 8, day 9, day 10, it's growing into a beautiful, beautiful flower. If we fast forward, let's see if we can fast forward and see, I don't know if it'll let me. No, it won't let me. Let's play it out. Let's see what this turns into. I believe this is probably going to turn into some type of fruit tree. I'm not sure. A lot of you herbalists, or not herbalists, but people with green thumbs. I don't got green thumbs. I got brown thumbs. I'm not sure what this is going to grow, what type of plant is going to grow, but I'm pretty sure this is about to grow some type of fruit. But it's amazing that look how tall this plant is getting. And this all came from one little seed. Look at all the little roots down here too. How much that's grown. Look at that. Look how deep these things are going. Day 10, 11, 12. Look at that. trying to pull all the moisture out of the soil, right? Seeds are huge. Seeds are super, super important. Super important because you can't really grow anything without it. Let's see what this thing is growing. Oh, it looks like it just grew a really, really tall plant. So that's really cool. But just in case you've never grown anything, I highly recommend it. I'm not the best at it, but it's cool when scripture gives us things to understand it, whether it be an analogy or a metaphor. It's great to learn more about it because it helps us understand the scripture better. So just in case you've never grown anything, you don't have a green thumb, I just wanted to throw this in here just so you can enjoy it. Now, let's take a look at what David wrote about this letter. So, Psalms 119, this is verse 105 through 112. It says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I have sworn an oath and confirmed it to keep your righteous rules. I am severely afflicted. Give me life, O Yah, according to your word. Accept my freewill offerings of praise, O Yah, and teach me your rules. I like that he says my freewill offerings are praise. I hold my life in my hand continually, but I do not forget your law. The wicked have laid a snare for me, but I do not stray from your precepts. Your testimonies are my heritage forever, for they are the joy of my heart. I incline my heart to perform your statutes forever to the end. And so here are some themes that we can take away from this passage. When we suffer, Yah renews us, right? That's verse 107. When we falter, we remember Yah's plan. When the wicked set a trap for us, we continue on the Father's path instead. It's like this rocky up and down process, very similar to if you were trying to grow a plant, right, from a seed. It's not streamlined. You might add a little water. You might put too much water in there. It needs more sun. It's got too much sun. We need to fertilize the soil. We need to leave it alone, right? There's this ebb and flow, and our lives are very similar. And the Father is the gardener of our lives, and he's the one that tills, and he's the one that makes sure that we receive all the nutrients we need. We just have to till the ground and make sure we are as fertile as possible. So when he deposits that seed, that root into our lives, it can take root and then bloom into something beautiful, which would be the fruits of the Spirit, right? It would be the fruit of our labors. It would be who we are and how we follow him, how we obey him, which is super, super cool. And as promised, here is the acrostic for this letter. We put no darkness. Your word is a light unto my path, like noonday sunshine. Hottest part of the day is noon. This is a great way to summarize this passage that David wrote about the letter noon. No darkness. Your word is a light unto my path, like noonday sunshine. Look at that. And that is Mem and Noon for you. Stay tuned because we are going to go through every single letter in the alphabet. Till next time, peace be with you. Shalom.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this recap session, and hopefully we can see you in the 144 Kids on Shabbat, which is every Shabbat. That is Saturday if you need a hand. We take the first Shabbat of the month off, but these videos will be uploaded as soon as we can. If you haven't already, or maybe you just forgot to, subscribe here on the channel to stay up to date. Sign up to join us live for 144 Kids. And remember, Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah, man, he's the way and the only way. All you need are the Father's laws and commandments, his Torah, those Moedim, his feast days, those family holidays, and Yeshua, our Messiah. That right there, that's what we need moving forward. Man, we love you, and we cannot wait to see you in the next video. Hopefully we see you live on Shabbat. Until then, shalom. Peace be with you.